she's the one.
This must be some.
Wow, she won.
I'm tall.
Use of zoo books. But
Grog?
The Dale Rescue Rangers.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Snow White, and today I wanted to talk about Quest for Camelot. I see a lot of people talk about Quest for Camelot online, but that's really only in comment sections. I don't see a whole lot of media created around Quest for Camelot, the history, the makeup, or even just about the story itself. There's a handful on YouTube, but nothing that's new and nothing that really piques my interest in particular. So I did what I do best, and I decided if I don't see something that I like, I'm just gonna make something I like myself. And so hopefully, like me, you enjoy Quest for Camelot and have wanted to see someone do a deep dive into the movie. Let's go ahead and pull Excalibur out of the stone and make sure that you don't get stuck under the ogre's butt. This is Quest for Camelot. We interrupt to bring you a breaking message. I have decided just to do the lore and the synopsis at the end. You've probably seen the movie, that's why you clicked on this video, so let's just go ahead and move on.
Journey back.
In May 1995, Quest for Camelot was announced to be Warner Bros. Feature Animation's first project, which was originally titled to be Quest for the Holy Grail and very loosely based on the 1976 novel The King's Damsel by Vera Chapman. Bill Kroyer and Frederick Ju Chow were originally set to direct the film together. The film still went into production later that year, however, it was delayed when animators were reassigned to help work on Space Jam. In the meantime, the story was heavily revised and the Holy Grail was replaced with Excalibur. Creative differences came up and prominent changes were made in staffing, including Bill Kroyer leaving the project. Bill Kroyer had intended to make a more darker movie, more faithful to the book. However, Warner Bros. Was wanting to go in a more Disney direction due to the Disney Renaissance. The complex plot and dark nature of the novel was replaced with several tropes of 90s animation, such as a strong female heroine, a power-hungry antagonist who wants to usurp a kingdom, a romantic subplot where the couple live happily ever after, talking animal sidekicks, and family-friendly comedy gags. Although, I don't know how family-friendly some of them are. The movie had a stacked cast, with Pierce Brosnan playing King Arthur, Carrie Elwes as Garrett, Eric Idle as Devon, Gary Oldman as Ruber, and Jane Seymour as Lady Juliana. The movie was originally scheduled for a theatrical release for the 1997 holiday season, but Warner Bros. Did push it back to May 1998 due to the troubled production and to avoid competing with a lot of movies coming out that year that were highly anticipated, such as Alien Resurrection, Anastasia, The Borrowers, The Little Mermaid, etc. Animation was mostly done in Glendale, California and London, England. Quest for Camelot was released on VHS and DVD by Warner Bros. Home Video in the United States and Canada October 13, 1998. With the purchase of every video, you would receive a free Devon and Cornwall pendant, a mail-in offer for a 14-inch Devon and Cornwall stuffed toy, and a Warner Bros. 75th anniversary savings booklet with $150 in special savings. Upon release, the movie had mixed reviews and was considered a commercial failure, grossing $38.1 million against a $40 million budget. It has a 41% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 3.1 on Letterboxd. The Prayer won the Golden Globe Award for the Best Original Song and was nominated for the Academy Award for the Best Original Song. As for my own personal history, I remember watching this movie on repeat. It was a princess tale that wasn't done by Disney, so it felt kind of special at the time. It's very apparent to anyone who watches this movie that it was inspired by Disney. You can tell based off the side characters, you can tell based off the songs, you can tell based off the art design for some of them even. And I could even tell that as a kid, but it really didn't matter to me. It had a different storyline, just with characters that looked similar to ones I had seen before. It didn't really hit the same mark as Beauty and the Beast or anything else it was trying to copy. The animation looks fine for the most part as long as you don't look at the background characters. The songs are unforgettable though, but that may just be my bias showing. The plot is where everything falls apart, and that's kind of a shame. I assume the original, being closer to the book, had a much more cohesive plot, and most likely what happened was they took out the parts that were darker and replaced them, and when they did that, it left a lot of gap in the actual plot itself, and so it was difficult to fill in things that were missing. They assume it's for children, they don't bother filling in the holes, you end up with things like this. I wanted a story about a girl who avenges her father, who wants to be a knight and is interesting and fun, but Kaylee is none of those things. She wants to be a knight, but she is clearly a damsel. She has to be saved so much throughout the story that at one point Steve Urkel Chicken even saves her, and he's supposed to be a villain. Being a self-insert character is one thing, but who would want to be Kaylee? Ruber is a fun villain that has the classic bumbling minion trope that keeps him from being truly great. They're menacing and they have cool designs, but the iron minions don't really do much for me. The chicken chicken can leave. The chicken can see the door. The castle gates can hit the chicken on the way out. Merlin and Arthur are also kind of useless for a story that's based on Camelot. Arthur's kind of like a damsel. Even Kaylee kind of saves him at one point. Maybe the damsel was Arthur all along. The two-headed dragon is no genie. Cornwall is kind of gross.
You don't need him, honey. Now you've got Cornwall keeping an eye on you.
He's kind of a perv. I don't like it. He's a little grating to me. I don't remember there being that many incest jokes either.
What are you? Well, frankly, we're the reason cousins shouldn't marry.
I wasn't prepared for that on a rewatch. Poor Garrett feels kind of like he got shit on the whole movie until the end. He did start out as an asshole, and I don't really care for his character in the very beginning when we first meet him, but everything after that is deserved because Kaylee is an asshole. Kaylee's mom is a typical mom character, and her dad isn't around long enough to have an opinion on him. The movie has such a great concept. I wonder if it had been the quest for the Holy Grail like intended, if we would have gotten something that hit just a little bit better. It's still a fun movie to throw on if you're ready to have a goofy, silly time and you're okay with a couple of incest dragon jokes. There were so many more than I thought there were. And that's Quest for Camelot. Do you have any memories of watching it as a child? The movie is free on YouTube, so if you wanted to take a look, it's right there for you. Thanks so much for watching if you've made it this far, and I'll see you next time. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and stay tuned.
I can see it all now. Cornwall and Devon star
You
in...
mean Devon and Cornwall?
That's it. I want separate contracts.